That's why I've got it going through my personal YouTube. But looks like I had to restart my live. My live is now up. Doing some testing real quick to see if everything is going through. Say something for me real quick.
Sound check, testing 1, 2, 3.
Yep, you're good. It seems like everything is good. Let me just adjust mic levels real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, that was my um. Well, I think we're good, and it's 4 p.m. So let me just pull. I've got Twitch open and TikTok open, so you don't gotta worry about it. All right.
I'm just gonna. I had a friend who was gonna watch us this week, so I'm grabbing your Twitch.
All right.
So,
Well, while you do that, I'll get the intro going. Okay.
all right, give me half a second before we start. I'm gonna go shut my door.
All right. Kitty, you can't keep jumping across my lap. All right.
All right, I'm good.
Good.
Yes, you're trapped in here for an hour. Deal with it.
I'm trapped out
You're
here
okay.
with this one. All right. Well, welcome to the Nomad Gamers podcast. I am joined today with our co-host Zanar Crest Rider. I am Fireball123D, and as you can see, we're down another man this weekend. Our lovely host Godfather will not be with us. He had some stuff go on and could not report in, but not let that stop us from spreading the gaming news this weekend. So, with that being said, let's get the socials and stuff out of the way. If you are watching us on my personal socials this week, over at Fireball123D on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, um, go follow us on Facebook at Nomad Gamers. Go follow us on YouTube at Nomad Gamers. Go follow us on TikTok at Nomad Gamers. Pretty much any social media I think we're on, we go by the Nomad Gamers. That is spelled Gnomad. Um, I don't got anything else besides that. I mean, Crest Rider, you got anything you wanna report?
No, we always skip over my socials because I don't stream.
All
So
right.
I,
Well,
I got nothing to add to the socials section.
I just wanted to make sure, you know. Uh,
There could come a day where I change my mind on that and actively start streaming, but you know, when you only really play one game and the gamer mentality is constantly shifting new input, it'd be hard to gain traction just as a World of Warcraft streamer.
mhm. Well, moving forward, we do have some gaming news to talk about this weekend. First off, first and foremost, get this out of I wouldn't say get it out of the way, but the one thing you do bring to the table every week. What do we got going on in the world of WoW?
I Early access for the Midnight expansion has dropped. That's been live for 2 days now, almost.
Well,
Um,
what's this expansion about then so far?
so we are in the second of three expansions in what they're calling the World Soul Saga.
Okay.
So this would be approximately the equivalent of a second act of a movie. So I expect everything's just going to go to shit
Mm.
uh, before the climax of it in the third act. But they revamped Silver Moon City. The damage done during Warcraft 3 by Arthas and the Scourge invasion has been repaired. The city has been rebuilt. There is an area of it that they are allowing the Alliance to use, and it is a neutral area that both factions are welcome in, as it's the staging grounds for the fight against the Void.
Mm-hmm.
There's the main part of the city proper though is still horde only, but it gives you a warning before you go there.
Yeah.
I've been flying overhead, and unlike usual capital cities where it just flags you and the guards go nuts and stuff, it says the guards have their eyes on you. Return to a neutral area.
So it's
So at least they're giving you a warning before they get mad.
mm-hmm. So it's not like Dalaran where you guys can intermingle and not have to worry about
It
fighting.
is for the most part, but like where in Dalaran the whole main city was neutral, and then you had the little side wings that were one faction or the other. Instead of being like that, it's the whole city accepts the horde, but only about I would say about 2/3 of the city the alliance can go running around in. It's not a very large section that they're banned from, so
Hmm.
it's less of an issue than you would think it would be, being that it's a capital city that there's just a chunk of it you're not welcome in. And they did a very good job of delineating where you're not allowed to go without having like barricades saying no alliance.
Because I know
I
I hate to cut you off because I know when I used to play back during the Lich King, um, you couldn't go you couldn't Horde couldn't go into the Alliance part, Alliance couldn't go into the Horde part. I remember being
would
like,
teleport you out.
I remember being like, I want to say
I
like,
still run into that issue if I'm on the opposite faction that I've been playing and I just by habit go into the wrong area.
but like I used to like take my mom's rogue in there thinking that if I stealth I could get past, and it would just sap you and
Magic
put you.
guards, they don't care. No,
Mm-hmm.
in this one, you would just flag and get attacked by the guards and the other players, just like any other capital city. But
Oh, I
for
got
the
you.
horde only areas, they did a very good job of making it obvious that it's horde area. For one, the trees are more of a fall state than the mid to late summer,
Mm-hmm.
so they're all reddish. There are piles of leaves falling off the trees. The area is very red.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a very good job of showing horde colors, and this is who's welcome here without being super obvious about it.
Right, right, right. Okay. Well, so has there been like anything so far within this last early access of like I'm guessing there are big game bugs out there. Is there anything that like you've seen firsthand so far?
I've seen a couple of minor issues. I haven't seen anything major. The nice thing about them doing the early access, and people get upset about the early access because they're like, "Oh, it's pay to win." First of all, it's 4 days. There's nothing there that's gonna get you ahead except the fact that you can get to 90. Uh, in the war within the previous expansion, there were some issues with like dungeon difficulty and stuff that people were able to blast up to max level, and then Blizzard patched it the day that actual expansion launched. So there was some feedback on that. So this one seems to be just fine in that regard. I
So there's no really way to cheese it to get to level 90 before even the main thing comes out. Unless you
Oh, I
guys have
mean,
like
I've got guildmates that are level 90. I'm level 87 or 88 myself, and I haven't had a ton of time to play, so I'm working on it. But obviously, like right now, I don't have the game live. I could be grinding up quests and getting experience right now, but I'm sitting here talking to you instead, and I'm
right?
actually trying to pay attention, which is an improvement for me. Admittedly, with my ADHD, I do often have something else going on, but I'm trying to pay attention.
No,
I
to be fair, I am trying to give you some softball questions to keep you in the loop with this.
yeah, usually I'm a little more passive because Gaz does like to take the forefront of the talking points.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, we have access to the revamped zones. Silver Moon City and its associated zones, Eversong Woods and the Ghostlands, when they were brought live during Burning Crusade, they were held in a separate instance from the main part of the Eastern continent. Now they have been integrated into the main Eastern Kingdoms continent, which means there is seamless flight. You could go all the way from the southern tip in Booty Bay. You could fly all the way to the northern tip in the Isle of Keldanos without ever going through a loading zone.
Right.
That also means that for the first time, flight is enabled in these zones. You can fly, but they also maintained the old version. So if you want to go back to the Burning Crusade version of Silver Moon, where the Blood Elf starting zone is, they
Mhm.
have a little archway next to the big archway that used to be the portal.
Mhm.
It's now a little like man-sized gateway that you can go through to access the old instance and return
Oh,
there.
I know
They
what you're
didn't,
talking about.
move anything, just reworked how it's there.
I know what you're talking about now because I remember back during Lich King when like because that used to be the Death Knight zone, kind of like prologue
In
area,
the
right?
Eastern Plaguelands, it wasn't so much the Death Knight zone, but the Death Knight started over in the eastern side of the Eastern Plaguelands, very
Mhm.
very near the gateway there. Yes.
Mhm. Because I remember one time I was just wandering around, not realizing where I was, and I saw this portal, and I walked through the portal, and all of a sudden it popped up with the red icon saying, "You're here, Horde Zone. Turn around." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, when you go through just the Ghost Lands and Eversong was just a horde zone. There was no neutral there because it was lower than level 20.
Mhm.
But no, it's been great so far. The quests are, for the most part, they're interesting. I don't like some of the narrative directions that they've taken, but I
Yeah.
don't want to get spoilery on it yet
Mhm.
because obviously it hasn't officially launched. There's still a lot of people who haven't got access to it.
Mhm.
I'll give it a couple of weeks before I say anything about that.
And you
Uh,
don't want to be that guy.
so my background this week is a view of the new zone.
Oh, really?
I have a special potion effect going on that makes everything, twilight instead of daytime.
Mhm.
So it's darker. All the natural glow of things is popping up. So which is why everything's kind of glowing there. I have another one that I took that I'll use next week if I don't get more screenshots.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, that's all I really want to. Well, all I really feel safe saying about the new expansion so far. Um, I don't want to get into spoiler territory and ruin any fun for people who have been patiently waiting to experience it for themselves.
Right. I get that. Well, thank you for that insight on World of Warcraft. I know Godfather and I haven't played it in a very long time, and I like the fact that we can come to you to keep up with it because
get
even though,
get your fix without dipping your toes back in
mhm,
yourself.
mhm, mhm. Well, to continue on what's going on, we've got some new updates on some video games. We've even got a um we got a new game came out. We've all it's been very highly anticipated. We're not going to get into the spoilers, so don't worry. But there is a good review out for it that I will cover. I've had people tell me how it's been. Don't know if I'm necessarily going to play it myself, but Resident Evil Requiem is now out in full release. Have you played it yet?
I have never played a Resident Evil game. Horror as the genre is not really my style.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I get that. Um, I will say I've had multiple friends that have been playing it all night long. I try to text them, being like, "Hey, is there anything you want to do? You want to hang out?" They're like, "Dude, I have been up all night. And I'm just now going to bed."
I have heard people describe it as Leon S. Kennedy Day.
Yeah,
Considering that's about the only thing that they've been able to talk about the entire time that this game has been in development ever since it was leaked that he was in the game.
I have heard that it is very good. Um, I mean, I don't really know much more about that.
The only thing I know about the game is that it's meant to be a capstone of all of the Resident Evils that have come before, so that going forward, they don't necessarily have to maintain any continuity with the existing story. They can start their own stuff with new characters, new, whatever going on, and they won't have to. worry about any tie-ins to anything else.
From what I've heard is, yeah, I've heard this is supposed to be like you said, an end cap to everything. Which I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's about damn time. We're on the ninth one now. I mean, the fact that they've been able to keep it going this long says something, and the fact that they haven't been able to, they haven't really stepped on their own tail, lore wise and story wise, says something how invested they are into this. Uh, I mean, not gonna lie, I remember damn near seeing Leon. What was it? Didn't they have one for the Nintendo 64? I'm pretty sure they did because I remember playing it when I was like 6 years old and dying to a zombie and getting absolutely scared by it because it was one of those fixed camera
Resident Evil
Resident.
2 was released on the Nintendo 64 in 1999.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. That's right then. So I know it's not 3, and I knew it wasn't. I didn't know if it was 2 or 1, but yeah,
2, I think, is the only one that I've actually seen gameplay of.
because it had the fixed camera where like you moved to a different part of the room and it was just one camera that showed where you
Those were
were at.
kind of a staple of the series for a long time. The fixed camera. It was actually a big deal when they went to the moving camera because the fixed camera gave you, or it gave the game directors the ability to control the scene,
Mm-hmm.
so they could dictate, all right, this is going to be here, this is going to be here, you're going to see this here. It made it easier for them to uh control what you saw, rather than if you've got the camera spun around, you may not be able to see that thing on the floor next to the desk because your camera angle's in the wrong swing.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad that they're finally starting to stop with the Leon Kennedy storyline because that man needs a break. That man, like,
you can you can only throw the same guy into a zombie invasion so many times before he loses. Because he's got to win every time. If he loses once, game over.
mm-hmm. But no, Resident Evil. It's been a great staple to watch people play. I've had fun playing it myself, but the last Resident Evil game I think I played was 7, and that was Biohazard, and it wasn't even Leon. It was something completely different in Louisiana.
Yeah, he hasn't been present in every single game.
No, and that's
He's a frequent protagonist, but
why are
not a
you biting
constant
me?
one.
Why are you biting me? She's like nibbling me because she wants me to keep petting her.
Mine is sleeping next to me peacefully for the moment, so at least I'm not getting nagged to let her out. We,
Oh,
for anyone who's not aware, we both have cats in our studio spaces right now.
well, because I've got people watching who are probably watching me from my Tarkov stream because she likes to come up and talk to me and want me to pet her in between raids. Here is the little cat I'm talking about.
and mine's right there, and I treat cats with the same rules that I treat babies. You don't mess with one when they're sleeping.
Mm-mm. Nope. Now she's probably gonna lay right on my stomach. But nope, she went over to her spot. Moving on. We got an update on the Wolverine game. Uh, the only thing that I've seen so far is we finally got a release date for it. Think they said, hold on, I'm gonna have to re-pull it up. I had it up and then I lost it. I apologize. Give me a second.
I
It
mean,
was like September 15th or something.
that'd be cool, but
Is it a
realistically,
he
the
or a
only
she?
proper way
The
do a
cat.
Wolverine game is to be like Dynasty Warriors esque, where you're
Right.
just cut loose and you're just shredding through stuff. Your health is constantly regenerating, so dying is not exactly a real threat.
Right.
Why is my
Uh,
camera going?
the cat is a
Oh, it's the micro.
she. The cat, she is. I don't even know how old she is. We got her from the pound not too long ago. Yep. September 15th, 2026 is when Wolverine is going to be released. Not gonna lie, I have been waiting for a game like this. We had a great.
But if they do it right, it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, I mean,
But they
yeah.
also have to understand that there are ways of defeating Wolverine that don't involve killing him, because killing him is extremely difficult.
Mhm.
You're just going to have missions that can be failed because you didn't do the objective.
Mhm.
Go rescue somebody. Well, that person got killed because you didn't get to them in time.
Mhm.
Or that person got killed because you
Well,
went complete berserker on everyone and they pulled guns.
if I remember correctly, it's gonna be made by the same studio that made the Spider-Man series, right?
If that's the case, then I'm not worried in the least because those Spider-Man games are absolutely
Mhm.
phenomenal.
That's why I'm excited about it. So if I remember correctly, they're supposed to be made by the same studio that made the Spider-Man games, and they did a phenomenal job on them.
There's absolutely nothing to worry about. Huh.
But moving forward, um,
Insomniac.
yep,
I knew I knew who it was.
yep, I believe Insomniac's the one that's heading on Wolverine. But moving forward, the state of New York is suing Steam. And I don't know how I feel about it because from what I read from the articles, the fact that the state of New York is suing Steam due to gotcha, like loot boxes, and it's a form of gambling. So
So they're
like,
they're blaming Steam for things that people put into their games that Steam has nothing to do with. But because Steam is the platform, they're saying that it's Steam's fault. And this kind of goes back to the whole lawsuit in the UK against Steam, saying that they're a monopoly
hold on,
and that
I've got the thing right here where it's saying Attorney General James sues a game developer for promoting illegal gambling through video games. Valve's Counter Strike, Team Fortress, Dota games have slot machine like features that entrance users to pay for the chance to win rare prizes. Um, First off, I will say, and I don't mean to cut you off by talking about this real quick, Chris Ryder, is unlike slot machines where you just lose your money,
yeah, you always get something.
you always get something. It might not be worth much, but you will at least get something. And
Yeah,
I mean,
but that
it,
doesn't fit their narrative, so they're ignoring that particular aspect of it.
but the thing is,
The
it's go ahead.
the other thing I saw about it is they they waited like 16 years on this because the damages that they are seeking are triple the amount that Valve has earned from these mechanics that they're claiming are Steam's fault. They want to pay out of triple what Steam has taken in, so they waited a nice long time to make sure it's a big fat payout.
Well, creative, I can see why you say that. He said, creative name on Twitch said, by that logic, Pokemon cards are also illegal because of loot boxes and gambling.
Yeah, and Magic the Gathering, and basically every trading card game, every blind pack toy that exists in a store. Uh, it it all be the same thing. You don't know what you're getting, but you're getting something.
Right, and like I said, is it's they wanted to call it out for like slot machine type behavior, but when you usually go gambling for slot machines, or if you just go gambling in a casino in general, you lose the money. when
Yeah,
you when you get when you buy something like this, because even mobile games do it. Like for instance, CSR2. I don't know if anybody's played CSR2 or if you've played it. It's like a drag racing game. You literally you complete races, you complete whatever, and you unlock these challenges. You do these challenges. They give you keys, and then you take those keys. You have to save up a certain amount of keys to then trade it in for a loot box. And you can buy keys. You can buy as many keys as you want, and then you can then try and do that yourself. The thing that like annoys me is pretty much every single game out there nowadays has some sort of gacha or loot box in it. And it just
almost every game has some form of DLC
mhm
that way.
mhm I mean the only Um, the only thing that I can see, like, hell, I know Black Ops 3 was heavily into the loot boxes. I mean, this could be a very dangerous slippery slope into something that, like, could turn the tide of gaming. I don't really see how it can get far with this, but at the same time, it's like if they do win, this could be very dangerous.
because it's gonna open the doors to somebody else going, well, I was damaged by this too, and they're going to go after Steam for the same thing, or they're going to go after another publisher, and it's just these places, they don't actually have a case, but they're hoping to persuade a judge so that they can get a massive payout. And the only thing that's going to end up being hurt by stuff like this is the gamers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I I'm very disappointed in that because they're going after something that doesn't seem like it's too damaging
Well,
when there are other things out there that are far worse than what's going on with like loot
because
boxes.
they just see it as an opportunity of a giant payday. That's all they care about. They don't necessarily think they have a great chance of winning, but they're like, well, it's a chance.
No, I don't get that.
It,
That's
it's it's just the way lawyers operate. Or politicians. They see it and they're like, well, if I say that it's to protect the
oh,
kids, oh, we have a Godfather.
Godfather. I wasn't expecting him to join.
Hi, guys.
He's probably gonna hop in, say hi, and then leave because he's probably still working. You're muted, guys.
No, he's not.
He's not.
No, he's not muted. He's just quiet.
For me, he's muted.
Well, yeah, because you're usually sitting beside each other.
You know,
That's
yeah.
you muting him on your side.
The fuck is going
There we
on?
go. There he is.
Fire up. There we go. Ah,
Hey, we got a Guz.
Yeah, we
we
got
do.
guys.
How is everybody?
Oh yeah, we're currently talking about New York suing Steam for loot boxes and gambling.
Just them hopping on the lawsuit train after the UK started their crap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
As far as I'm concerned, they don't actually have a case because one, everything that they're accusing Valve of, Valve didn't do. That's up to the individual, game developers have all that, and they'd have to bring those cases to them. Valve is a storefront. That'd be like suing Walmart for
Pokemon cards.
something that the well, I mean to go back to Fireball's example, Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm. It's a distributor. It's not the actual
Right.
creator of
That's all they are.
such.
They're the distributor.
Yeah. Well, man, we're kind of quick firing through some of this stuff.
That's
But,
okay. Guz is here. I'm sure he'll slow it down.
I wish I could, but unfortunately, I have been unplugged from the gaming community since Wednesday. So
It doesn't unplug you from your opinions.
I mean, I'll give you all my opinions once I have them, and we all know this. But
well, moving forward, getting off the topic of the state of New York and this lawsuit, I know we talked about it earlier, talking about we might be switching platforms and stuff, but Discord has delayed the age verification process.
Yeah, they got a lot of negative feedback, because who would have thought?
But
who would have thunk
from a quote from the CEO of Discord talking about how they want to get this right. It says that Discord has delayed its controversial age verification measures that were set to go live on March 1st globally. However, Discord has stated that while it is not canceled, they haven't canceled any of the age verification plans outright. They would like to be more transparent with who who was working with it moving forward. Um, of course, we've already talked about how if you don't verify your age, you're going to be put on the teen settings by default. But
And what they've been talking about is there are ways that they're going to automatically verify people based off of certain things. An active credit card on your account may be used as a way of determining, especially if the credit card name matches the account holder's name.
mhm,
Uh, they may auto verify you based on the fact that you have a credit card. If your server is not reflecting the fact that you have mature content on it, that server may not even nobody on the server may even notice age
mhm.
verification because it just won't kick in on them.
Well, and
If your
that's
server is flagged as hosting mature content, then you'll be subject to that, but they may still be passively checking people out. They're looking at ways of doing that.
The way I understood it when I watched when I read this on, I think it was Game Report, or it was one of the many sites I go and look at. Uh, they have like 3 or 4 different ways that they're looking at to verify the age of the individuals on Discord. And
Yeah.
at this time, you know, I don't know how secure they are, but at least they're reaching out to a third party verification system that is a little bit more secure than what Discord is.
Yeah, because none of those have been hacked and leaked and
right.
And again, like I said on Talking Tuesday, I said we live in a day and age where buying something off of even Steam, for that matter, we are at risk. So there is no way that Discord can roll this out with zero risk for age verification. But at the same time, I tip my hat to Discord. One, they're trying, and two, they pulled back the reins and said, "Whoa, maybe we are going down the wrong path," because a lot of companies out there and a lot of platforms that we all visit all the damn time, they don't have that. They don't take into account of the users' thoughts. Yes, they lost a lot of Nitro subscribers. At least they took a step back and said, "Wait a minute, we're going to delay this. We're going to try and refine it." What they'll
because at the end of the
is
day,
nobody quite knows.
that's the only way people can really get their attention to these companies is with their wallets, and everybody shutting off their nitros a way to catch their attention going, oh hey, maybe we're doing something stupid, because you can't listen to forums because you're
No.
going to have a small minority of the people who are extremely vocal on one side or the other, or they're just going to be arguing back and forth and nothing's going to actually be said. But when, a large percentage of your player base all of a sudden says, yeah, I'm out, and just drops everything off your account or off your platform, that'll say something.
Hmm.
It will.
Well, and that's like
I was going to say, Gaza, if you're trying to take pictures of the screen, do we need to be like,
No, because no. Here's the thing. So, I don't mean to hijack by no means, but as everybody knows, my 9 to 5, I respond to natural disasters or anything to do with the infrastructure of the federal government. And the boss that I have now will never, ever believe that I came onto our podcast while I was deployed. And as you guys can see behind me, I am in a hotel room. Um,
really, that looks like a really great green screen.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean,
almost the same quality as mine back here.
right there is my is one of my suitcases. But yeah, I just took a picture that way. My boss, when I say, "Hey, I went on to my podcast last night," as soon as she goes, "No, you didn't," I'm going to go, "Here, look at this, right here, right here."
Well, okay. Um, anything else we want to cover about this age verification?
I mean, we don't have
We're
too
not
much more to
going.
say about it until they give us more information in the first
Right.
place.
Right. Okay.
We're not going anywhere in the meantime. And like I said, and like we've said on this show, we have a plan B, but there's no need to announce it. There's no need to do anything because we don't have anything that's mature in content on our channel anyways.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
for me, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we do got a couple. We do have some things happening over not in the U.S. but on the U.K. side, in the EU side of gaming news. With the recent shortages of RAM and everything, the Steam Deck has disappeared off the market in the EU.
Well, it's
Pretty
getting hard
sure
to
it's
get in
gone
anything.
everywhere.
It's getting very hard.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I haven't used a Steam Deck. I think the only one here that has a Steam Deck is Crest Rider. Um,
FYI, they are fully out of stock in the U.S. as well.
there. Oh no, I've been told that they've from what I read is they are completely like you can't even look it up in the EU.
Well, the EU has different rules than what America does.
Mm-hmm.
America, we can at least see it. It'll say out of stock. Over
Mm.
there, it might be out of stock, so they take it completely out of.
Well, that could also be a result of the pending litigation, since the Steam Deck is actually a Valve product and not just their storefront for
Mm-hmm.
other people's stuff.
Mm-hmm. But
Hard to
again,
say what that one is.
I remember talking because for those who have watched me on because we're on my socials right now until Godfather gets back. For those who have watched on my socials know that there are certain times where I have not been able to stream due to um, things going on with my setup and my laptop, and having to upgrade from the 16 gigs of RAM I have right now to 32. And with the how high the prices are with RAM, I had to sit down with Sweet Kitty talking about how I could possibly get this upgrade. And like Sweet Kitty says, is right now it is a big bubble, but that bubble is going to pop sometime here soon. Somebody's gonna pick up.
It might
Somebody's
be a
gonna.
few years down the road, though.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it like this, okay? And let's just be honest with our audience out there. We're talking about these AI mega centers
Mm-hmm.
are
These data
popping up
centers.
everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and they are gobbling up all of the resources.
Well, it's not
RAM,
just RAM right now; it's GPUs as well.
at electricity, water, you name it. So the reason why I am not so upset about this is because the pressure on that bubble is getting so immense. Here before long, 6 months, maybe a year, gonna break. And when it breaks,
They're also very quickly realizing that AI data centers aren't exactly turning the profit that they had envisioned.
Unless
They
things.
looked at all this stuff and it was just dollar signs in their eyes. And
Well, and
companies are already starting to come out and say, yeah, we're not making money off of AI.
Well, and this is the thing that I look at it is I see a lot of these companies that sit here and they're like, we can make a profit off of this because we can sell it like Amazon does Alexa, and like Razer just came out and they created their own AI within like I forget what it's called. We talked about it like a month or two ago, where Razer's got their own AI companion that you can buy, kind of like an Alexa, and you could set it up in your house and use it that way. And if you aren't going to sell a form of that, then trying to have an AI isn't going to be that profitable.
well,
That's
like I
my
said,
that's my personal take on it, at least.
I don't like talking much about AI because there's a lot of unknowns. And like I said, the bubble is going to get, there's going to be so much pressure to break it that there's just so much unknown that we don't know. But I
Well,
do
and
know once it does break, it's going to be awesome for the consumer. Awesome.
hmm because right now, and this is the worst part about it is you see so many statements from these RAM creators or the GPU creators where they're saying we're taking away from the consumer side of it and we're selling directly to these data centers, and there's not going to be anything left over for our consumers, and then they're leaving them out high and dry on it. And not only is that, and I'm not gonna lie, that irritates the hell out of me as a consumer because
Well,
they're way more.
we got to look at it like this too. And as soon as I say this, all three of us are going to go north south with our heads. It's all about the money.
Well,
If,
yeah,
if
and
this
that's
AI company goes to the chip manufacturer or the RAM manufacturer and goes, I'm going to give you, and this is a fictitious number, but 1.5 million for this,
mm-hmm.
they're going to snap that up.
Well, and
Instantly.
the example I was about to make is the fact that, you know, looking at the difference between the consumer side and the data center side is there might not data center can buy more in bulk, like you said, they can put
Well,
an
and
order in for
what they're
1.
probably doing, uh, sorry to cut you off and interject, but I didn't want to lose my train of thought while Gaz had said it. Uh, Not only did they go, we're going to give you a chunk of change for this, we're going to give you this amount extra if you can deliver it by this date.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
That is most likely why these companies are dropping everything else, shifting over to cranking that stuff out, is because undoubtedly there is a time based bonus attached to it that they're trying to hit.
Mm-hmm. And that was what I was trying to bring up is you know, data centers are able to put in these large orders, but if you look at it from the consumer side, even though a consumer buys maybe 1 or 2 sticks of RAM at a time, there are millions more consumers out there than there are data centers. So I honestly, and this is just my take on it, I would want to see what the price chart between a data center and what consumers is like. Because
I was just going to ask you that.
I want to see how close it is, cuz if like you said, if the data center is blowing up the price and um
Or
paying
not,
way
but
paying way more out of pocket for this RAM than a consumer, let's say a million consumers are uh, wanting, then it's like you really are shutting off the money flow.
can I ask you a question, Fireball?
What's
When
that?
you were looking for that RAM, how much was it before the price spike?
Before the price spike, you would see. I honestly, I think it was like two 16 sticks was somewhere around 200, 150, $200
Okay, so
before price spike.
was it a 2 pack or were you buying them one and two, so two in the cart?
No, it was combined together, I believe.
Okay, combined together. Now
Mm-hmm.
let's just go on the very low end and let's go 150. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm no mathematician, so I'm not going to be able to tell you
The thing is,
what it is.
So
I don't remember what the price was
I
right
know,
before the hike.
I
So
know
I think
Fireball, but
I
that
think
it'd have been
Crest
about
has it.
$60.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
okay, so now from that $60, you got to subtract 33%
Mm-hmm.
off of that because that 33% is where most
That's the
retailers upcharge to make their profit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come back 33%, that tells you the raw dollar amount that it took them to make it. Now, what these AI data centers or big whatever the hell they are, they could be saying, okay, you're upcharging 33% to the general public. But if we do a bulk order, how about you knock that down to 15%?
Right.
And I bet you that's how they're doing it.
You need to get
Sorry
home
to go
here
all
soon
business
because
bro on
this cat is annoying me while I'm out here.
you.
Your cat is really missing you.
so the the estimation from a quick Google search is people are saying about $20 to $25 to manufacture the each individual RAM stick of what Fireball was going after.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right.
But I mean, now I just sweet like I said, Sweet Kitty Pie and I were looking at RAM, just because I'm gonna have to get this upgrade here soon. But right now, two 16 sticks alone costs about $400. Two 32 sticks costs about 700.
I am seeing between 190 and 312.
For 16s or for 32s?
16 gig DDR4s.
And is that a single one? I'm talking
No, it's a pair of
DDR5.
them.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
looking at.
DDR5?
I'm looking at
DDR5 is going to
DDR5.
be significantly more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
I just some of the top things up at the top were like 128 gig sticks for like $5,300. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
looking
you're looking at
because
Wow.
right now the spec in my computer is I have two 8 DDR5s, and if I'm
yeah, you're
gonna
looking at about 333
for 16s, and it's like 700 for two 32s.
six. Yep, 630 is what I'm seeing on Amazon right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely a price increase because that would those would have been $60 or 120
Like I
prior to the thing going nuts.
like I said, I was talking to Sweet Kitty like a week before the price increase, and Sweet Kitty always jokes with me. She's like, "You should have bought that RAM when you did, huh?"
You
Like
need to
you
get
should
out,
have.
sweetie.
But yeah, no. I mean, I again, and it's like looking at like game console manufacturers and PC tower manufacturers moving forward. They're
Everybody's going to be hurting for all this
mm-hmm,
stuff because every manufacturer got offered by the data centers and they all just went, screw the consumers.
mm-hmm, and it's like trying to play video games is now something that I feel like if it continues to move
Yeah.
forward like
And
this,
then they're
it's
trying to say, oh, yeah, you don't need to have a PC. You can just stream it to whatever device you have via our cloud service.
mm-hmm. And that was the next thing I was about to bring up was Sony because what was it last week, 2 weeks? I think it was 2 weeks ago when I brought up how in the UK they're starting a renting service where you can like rent a PS5 for £10 a month. Mm-hmm. They just filed a patent, and I believe I believe it went through where you now can you don't own the graphics to the game that you buy. You can buy the game itself, and this is what they said they were trying to lower the file size for games where you can download the contents of the game. However, once the file size or once the contents are downloaded, you then have to stream to the Sony cloud in order to get the graphics.
No, thanks.
That's going to go over like a lead balloon.
I mean, I we keep moving farther and farther towards not owning anything as consumers, and it.
That's what they want, though. They just want you to keep shelling out money for every little individual thing. If they can figure out how to monetize something, they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't stop until people stop giving them money.
And that's like I was when I saw that and when I read that. I also follow a few gaming news creators on TikTok and Instagram when they covered it. They were more outraged than I am talking about it right now. Cuz like you said, they're trying to nickel and dime to death and make sure that nobody owns anything just so they can keep receiving the money for it. And it pushes my buttons. I I have no other way of.
Well, you said this was Sony, right?
Mhm.
And so it's PlayStation.
Mhm.
We're buying PlayStation.
And I mean like I can understand there's a difference between something like that and because I was talking to a couple friends about it. They were like, "Well, isn't that basically the same thing as Game Pass? You're paying a subscription to not own the game, and
Yes and no,
I
because
told.
what you're describing is still paying retail price to buy the game to then have to stream the graphics.
Mm-hmm. But like I told them is I'm happy. The difference between, and we were talking about the difference between PlayStation Premium's game library and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate's library. I will continuously pay and choose Game Pass Ultimate's library because they
You
are.
went mute.
I did.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I can.
Is that you?
Fresh Runner, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Did you deafen yourself?
No, we didn't.
What the fuck is going on?
You're on hotel internet. What do you expect?
But like, all right, there he goes. But moving forward, like I said, I will continuously praise Xbox Game Pass over any other uh uh rental service for games is because they continuously update and bring out new games for it. Like right now, they just added. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. They just added a whole new set of games that like will take months for PlayStation to get to. Because if I remember right now, they recently oh god damn it. Hold on. I gotta go through Backbone real quick just because that's where it's at.
Well, why don't we move on to something else? Because this is just constantly going.
But moving forward, thank you, Crest Rider, for getting us back on track. Last thing we got to talk about. Um,
Well, I had one other thing, but yeah.
no, go ahead with yours, and then we'll wrap up with mine.
I was just gonna mention that I talked about last week. Pokemon Day was yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was.
The Fire Red Leaf Green went live. I haven't had a chance to play them yet, but they're live. Nintendo and Game Freak also teased Generation 10.
What's that?
Pokemon Wind and Waves. They also showed off the starters. I don't remember what the starters' names were. I don't have the information in front of me. I'm not going to waste the time on that. I'm going to withhold any reservations on that until I see the actual direct announcement on that. Well, all we got was a teaser, basically saying, "Hey, this exists. It's coming." So I'm sure there's going to be more information to that coming soon.
Well, you back, Godfather?
Yeah, stupid Discord.
It's not Discord. It's your hotel internet and the fact that you're playing on your phone on a limited connection.
No, I'm not playing on my phone.
He's on his iPad. There's
Yeah.
a difference.
No, he was on his phone though. He was kicked back there like this for.
Well, yeah, because technically I'm still working, so I have to answer text messages when they come in.
Well, the final thing we got to talk about. Another big L from Sony. I will say they've been just taking shots all weekend or all week. One of their gaming studios has shut its door. Blue Point Studios. They were the ones that were behind the Shadows of. They made remakes of the classics like Shadows of the Colossus and
Demon Soul.
and Demon Souls. They were also right in the middle of a live service God of War game that was scrapped just before shutting down.
Oh, speaking of God of War, don't let me forget that.
Okay, well, I know that we don't like to talk about layoffs and stuff like that because it does detrimentally affect the gaming community and all these designers and stuff that could be used at other companies. But losing a studio like this, especially considering the fact that there are so many games out there that fans have been asking remakes or remasters for, it just it's
To kill the studio that was proving that they do a damn good job at making remasters.
Exactly. Because, like, I have seen so many people asking for a Bloodborne remaster. Remaster it, bring it to the PS5. I have seen, like, we've talked about multiple times. Bethesda could have gone to them and been like, hey, help us remaster Fallout 1 and 2 into a 3D version. You know, a studio that has basically catered themselves to being remaster studios and remake studios, taking them out like that, it just, this is a bigger hit to the gaming communities than let's say another just like another studio that was making brand new games, but
Okay,
making a
so
brand new IP.
can I go on a rant, please?
No.
There's one no.
I mean, make it quick.
It has a lot of good points.
Make it quick.
Make it quick.
Don't pull a fireball.
Or
I'm not gonna
Gauze.
put fire- Okay, so here's my take on all these stupid layoffs right now. They make no sense. They make 0 sense at all, because what is the one thing that these AAA developers keep saying that is driving out the time of the video games? It's lack of staff. But then when they say that, then we hear about these stupid layoffs. And like Fireball was saying, we can't get these remakes or these remasters because they say, oh, we're working, and I'm giving out some examples. We're working on Fallout 5. And by the way, they have a 1 page, but nothing more than that. But they keep saying we're so limited on this, that, or the other. But they keep laying people off.
That's the shareholder effect.
Yeah.
They have to constantly show that they're making a profit to their shareholders for every quarterly meeting. So every 3 months they do crap like this to show that their expenditures are down. Infinite growth.
Need to come out and be honest with the gamers out there and say, we are not going to give it to you. Look at Fallout. We've had that rumor, that stupid rumor out there.
What's the difference? Hold on real quick, Godfather. What's the difference? Somebody on Twitch just asked, what's the difference between a remake and a remaster? From what I know is like a remaster is talking about, it's the same game, just new graphics, new coat of paint, new
maybe an upgraded engine.
Yeah, maybe an upgraded engine. Like let's just say
I can describe this for you.
Okay.
Thank
you.
So
you got a house. It's kind of old and broken down, right? A remaster is going to be a fresh coat of paint on the outside. Maybe you fix up a couple of the broken pieces of the trim and good to go. A remake, you knock that bitch down, you build it from the ground up, brand new, but it's the same, the same house. And maybe it's got some new bells and whistles to it, but you're building it from the ground up.
So more like a from a gaming term is you had Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That was a remaster. The 2006 version, and then you've got the 2025 or 2024 version. That's a remaster. It's literally the same game, just updated graphics. However, you have a game like Call of Duty with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. You had the 2009 version and the 2011 version. And then later in the 2020s, you had Modern Warfare 2 2022 and Modern Warfare 3 2023. Those are remakes. It's got the same name to it, but it's a completely different game.
Could you have picked a more convolutedly named scenario?
Yeah.
You could have just done, hey, look, Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII Remaster. It's the same game, fancy new graphics. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Those are completely different games in the same vein.
Well, hey, I mean, I don't play Final Fantasy. I didn't know about it.
Would be.
Don't tell me you haven't heard of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I haven't.
You have too, because I always lose my shit about it.
Yeah, but the thing is when you talk about games like that, like an old head, I kind of just tune you out. All right.
Yeah, I get it. A remake would be like Fallout 1 and 2 coming to modern day gens and the modern day way of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a remake. But back to my point was they keep laying people off, but then we keep hearing all of these backroom rumors, and that's all they are at this point, is rumors that Fallout 3 is going to get remastered. Fallout New Vegas is going to get remastered. To Todd Howard's credit and to Bethesda, they haven't come out and said anything about it. So that's why I say it's just a freaking rumor right now. But these layoffs are what piss off gamers.
Well, and it's like I said, there's a difference between the companies that were making these brand new titles on the brand new IPs and an established company like Blue Point Studios where they were known for creating remasters.
Yep.
When you completely
Yeah.
shut down a studio that devoted themselves to doing just remasters, that's where you're like, I guess it hurts and it stings just a bit more, is because you're like, they were actually giving what the players wanted.
Well, just
And
think of it like this with the layoffs, okay? Just think of it like, and this goes for the Ubisoft layoffs, the Microsoft layoffs, this one. How many have we reported on over the years?
but it's
And you, well, hold on, Fireball. And then you look back at games like, or manufacturers like Bethesda. They haven't updated Starfield in over a year because they don't have the staff to do it. You've got 76 where the updates are coming slowly. They're coming, but they're getting slower.
but
You've
like
got Rockstar, who doesn't give all the love to Red Dead Redemption, and it's all on Grand Theft Auto. Now, if you were to bring in or even stand up a studio where these guys were laid off at and say your baby is Red Dead Redemption 2, or
mhm.
your baby is Starfield, or is Diablo, or is Warcraft,
but
or just put the name in there for that franchise and say, this is your baby, make it make money.
the thing I'm trying to tell you though, Godfather, is this isn't just like you said, this isn't just a layoff. The studio folded.
Yeah,
So there's one less studio on the table. That's like Rockstar coming out and saying, "We just folded up Rockstar North."
I get it, but here's what I'm saying though, is these other developers see this. They can always swoop in and stand up their own studio and tell these developers or whoever got laid off, hey, come work for us, maybe next door, for all I know, or maybe buy the building once the other one shuts down and say, this is your baby, this is what we want you working on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an idea, but with all of these people being laid off, there should be teams out there for every game.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that be the team being reached back for continuality while the other team moves forward to, let's say, Grand Theft Auto 6. So you're gonna have a whole nother studio who's gonna be supporting Grand Theft Auto 5 online
Mm-hmm.
or GTA online. That's what I'm trying to say is you have all these layoffs, and I don't think these developers or these AAA makers are comprehending there is so much potential out there, and they're just letting the employees walk. That's it. There is so much room for teams. There's so much room for improvement, but they keep laying people off.
Well, I think honestly that's well said, guys. We try our best not to cover this kind of stuff because it really is just doom and gloom. But there's
And
a
it fires them.
Chronic says facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nah. He said nah. He's speaking facts.
Yeah, but it can also set Gauze off on a 45-minute rant
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can.
real
That's why I
easy.
gotta be
Mm-hmm.
careful.
But
That's why I gotta be
yeah,
careful.
yeah.
I've got
Um,
talking Tuesday and Thursday to go on my rants. So
right. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've got for gaming news wise. The biggest thing in again, there's a difference between these AAA studios that are trying to come up with a new IP versus studio that's beloved for doing remasters. It's we need more men working on games too. What do you mean by
What?
that, Chronix? You're gonna have to elaborate on that a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you were onto something, but
You even have any idea what he said?
Yeah, all he said is we need more men working on game. Do you need more people?
I would agree with that statement.
Because I mean, like, there's
I think he's piggybacking off of what I said with the layoffs, and I completely understand and I agree with him if that's what he's saying. But at the same time, I really wish Bethesda, Rockstar, uh, Obsidian, whoever, just plug and play with the developer's name, would go out there and just stand up a goddamn studio and say, "This is your baby. Make it make money."
well,
Because
and
everybody hates Starfield because it hasn't been updated. A few of us hate Starfield because it ain't Fallout. But at the end of the day, it has a cult following. At
well,
the end
yeah.
of the day, if they were to update it, it would still be making money.
Um, I will say because we're gonna give Chronix a minute to see if he's gonna elaborate on what he was talking about. There needs to be, and I liked how Sony did it, where they were talking about how they've got their one, they've got their new IP studio working on what they're gonna work on, whether it be like I mean I can't come up with anything right now, but they also had the remaster studio, which was Bluepoint, and
Well, I wonder how this is going to fall into line with that lawsuit over in Europe about the game that you love. They shut it down. They stopped supporting it. It was a car game,
oh, the crew,
Forenza or something.
Forza.
Forza, yeah.
They
I
they
wonder how.
haven't. No, because the Forza 6 just got announced.
Okay, well then it was another game that was maybe it's the crew. I don't know,
Because the
but
crew. Okay, go ahead though.
either way, the EU or whatever court over there ruled that they cannot shut down support for that game.
Yeah,
That was ruled
I
on
know
a
what you're
couple.
talking about, but it was here in the United States where they were talking about how people who bought the game like a live service game like The Crew, and this is what what was talking about. The Crew was a live service game by Ubisoft where they had bought the game and the only way to play the game was through online play. There was no single
Yes,
player game to it. So
yep,
when they finally shut down the servers to it, The Crew was no longer available.
yep.
And
And
that's when the lawsuit happened.
I know a court over in Europe just told them they cannot do that. They have to restore it. Do we have a comment yet back or
Yeah, I'm going to say right now I don't agree with that, Chronix, but I will bring it up anyway. He said too many women are in the gaming industry.
nope?
Gaming has been a
Absolutely not. Nope.
dominated in a workspace, and
Nope.
and it now shows. It's not to be sexist or anything.
That is exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I'm
I don't care. I don't care who it is or I really don't care any about that. If they have the skills to put on a damn good game, if they have a skill set to keep a favorite game going, I could care less if they're a Martian. Just keep my game going. I don't care.
my hot take is to it is don't politicize a video game.
Yeah,
That
no.
that's my hot
And
take
it's
as to it.
happening too much.
And it's happening too much nowadays. Don't politicize a video game. Video games are created in a fictitious world. Do not. There's no
No,
reason to have a political narrative behind a video game.
no, no.
I mean, there's a double-edged sword to that because if you look at Star Wars, there's stuff like that to that. But
If
there
the
should.
politics is in the game, it's in the lore, I can handle that. But I stand by my statement again, where I don't care what they are. I really don't. I don't. I give two hoots about anything besides the skill set and them bringing me a game that I enjoy or keeping it up to date. That's all I. Yeah.
He said, "Agree to disagree, but gaming declined when it became female dominated."
It
I mean,
hasn't been
again,
female dominated.
it
It just happened.
and he's
I
but
highly disagree with
Chronic says I agree with what he's saying though, and that's what I'm saying is, and I love how Godfather put it on merit. If you can create a game, it doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a woman. If you can create a game with a good storyline and like it doesn't even have to have good graphics. There are plenty of games out there that have terrible graphics but have a great story to it. If you can create a game like that that can hook an audience, you're set. And it doesn't matter who
it. Yep.
created the game. I
Yep.
mean, but I think but the point where is if you are trying to create a narrative for a video game that should not have that kind of narrative, that's where I will agree. Like, get that the hell out of the space because that is not
Yep.
needed.
And it's an open market, so if you don't like it, move on to the
Mm-hmm.
next game.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, like,
This is how it is.
because
All right. So
you
what else do we got on our plate today?
that's all I had. I mean,
All right. Well, let's go into singles.
going to singles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with the man of the hour that's not here, let's get an update on when he's gonna be back.
All
Godfather.
right. So, all right. I don't have control over any of this. So
I've
you
already
guys
got
will
it
just
up.
have
Just go.
Okay. So, as everyone knows, there is no Talking Tuesday, no Thirsty Thursday for at least a month. Okay. There will be no live streaming of gaming for a month. I'll be completely honest with everyone out there. I am working 6 a.m. That's when I have to be in my office. And tonight is a rarity where I see my hotel room before 6 p.m. Normally, I've been getting off around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, pulling 15, 16-hour days. So until I return back to the Shire, God's father is pretty much on hold right now. I wish I could retire and I could just game all day and do Nomad gaming all day, but we are nowhere near that point yet. So I got to keep my 9 to 5 going. I miss everybody. I miss doing my Grand Theft Auto nights, and I was about ready to buy Ark, and I will have Ark when I get home.
Wait, Ark
Uh,
Survival or Ark Raiders?
I think it's Ark Raiders.
Okay,
Isn't it the
because
one that just came out?
that's Ark Raiders.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, the
you
one
have
that.
to kind of clarify because there is a dinosaur game out there called Ark.
Oh, okay. Well, the one that
So
just came out, the one that is rivaling Escape from Tarkov. So you'll have Tarkov with Fireball, Ark with me,
well,
and
I might be playing
or
Ark
maybe not.
Raiders. I may be playing. Tarkov will definitely be my game still, but I will probably
Yeah.
be playing Ark Raiders with you. So
So next weekend for the Nomad Gamers, I may or I may not be here. I do plan to try and stop in, at least say hi and get my face on the screen, but we'll see. That's all I have.
Chronic says, "I apologize. I promise I'm not sexist. By the way, I just can't really convey the
Hey, it's all
point.
good, man.
I just can't convey the point I have the way on
Yeah,
Twitch. And
I get it. I get it. I
we're all
get it.
good with
I
it,
get it.
Chronics. I mean, we kind of understand what you're coming from, but like you said, we can all agree to disagree with what's going on. Let me pull it up. Crest Rider, you got anything? Damn, that background
Uh,
does look good. This is the first time I've enlarged your picture. That actually does look. Is that what kind of tree is that behind you?
it is a tree glowing with the holy light. That's what it is.
Gotcha.
While you guys were doing your argument, I've been playing with the end result of my new 3D printer,
Might as well show it
and
because it's.
in honor of Pokemon Day, I got a bunch of Pokeballs.
You know what you need to do now? You need to 3D print little Pokemon to put them in.
They're, jokes on you, they're fidget toys. The buttons click.
Oh, I thought they like actually opened up.
No, I have made ones that open up, but these ones are fidget toys. They exist to click.
Just
I
like
am also in the process of a very, very small one.
You got anything else you want to cover real quick, Gross Rider, before?
Nope. You know my focus. I'm just trying to get through this and get back to World of Warcraft.
All right. Well, I do got to talk a bit with the Nomad Gamers about this because this was something that I have been talking to a couple of friends as well. Um, for there being an instance where Godfather and Crest Rider cannot show up, which could happen within this month. Um, we're going to be doing a Nomad Gamers episode, podcast, whatever, where we're going to be covering the extent of Tarkov. I don't know if this is actually going to come through fruition, but I've got a decent panel that have been playing Tarkov since closed alpha or before then, so they've been playing for about 12, 15 years. Where we might actually go into the history of Tarkov and everything with that. That's only if my co-hosts cannot show up, but
Well,
you know.
just know that Godfather might show up just to say
Mhm.
hi.
But I'm currently in the talks of trying to get that set up just in case if the co-host can't be here. Going to continue to try to stream the Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Might be streaming for a bit longer now that I'm not gonna lie, Godfather's out of the Shire, so we don't have to really worry about conflicting schedules. But no, I don't have anything besides that. Let me bring us back to normal real quick. Do you want to take us out of here, Godfather, since you've got the time, or do you want me to do it?
Sure. Hey, I want to thank everybody out there for your love and your support of your Nomad Gamers. We do appreciate it. So
Chronic said,
for
"Damn, I missed half the podcast." Hey, I told you it was gonna start at 4 p.m. Central. I
hey, oh, by the way, Fireball, you need to share the entirety of this podcast on the Nomad Gamers Facebook. That's where he can find it all at. I would
uh
love to see the beginning too.
I will I don't have access to that kind of stuff. I don't since
We
I
we can coordinate that once we go off air.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
That way, next week we'll be on in the right way.
Mhm.
for my two co-hosts, Fireball 123D,
Creative just
for
said
Zanar Crest Rider. I am Godfather. We make up your Nomad Gamers. Peace and love. We out the door.
before we end, Creative said for me it started at 11 p.m. Well, we
Okay.
appreciate
I
we
said my
appreciate
piece.
you
We're
being
off the
we
air.